Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello class, meet again with me with Ma'am Ayu for English class. In this chapter, we are going to discuss about academic reading skill 2. And the discussion will be about the first is about note taking in reading and also summarizing. After the discussion, I will hope that you will be able to do the best note taking that will fit to your style and have us you will be able to summarize a reading text or books that will be very helpful for your academic life. Note taking and reading is a very important part for your academic success in college, since you have to meet so many textbooks that you have to read a lot. And most courses require significant reading. You have to get a very deep understanding of that courses. Since so many courses also very new for you, it can be difficult also to understand and master the material. Without solid note taking, it will be very difficult for you to able to adapt with very every changes and every problem and every assignment that you face with reading. And good note can help you very much. You have to organize your ideas and information from the text that you have from the books and keep focused and stay engaged while you are reading by having a good note. And while you have a good note, you will keep a record of what you read so you can be more easily located in the future or recall it back from your mind or from your from your brain. And good note will think critically about what you read while you read. Because when you make a note, you have to think about what you read. And then you will be able to write after you understand what you have read. And then in good note, you can draw a conclusion and also identify main ideas of the text. It will help you to figure what will be the best ideas that you have already read from one paragraph, one chapter, or even one books of the course. And be prepared for class and build a foundation for lecture is also a use of a good note. When you make a good note, preceding the lecture or before you have the lecture, it will build a foundation for your knowledge or recall by background knowledge of what you're going to learn. It will help your mind or your brain to understand more about the knowledge. And the last good note will have a solid material to use to study for exam or prepare for any assignment that you will face. So by having a good note, you will be ready every time and everywhere because you have already understand what you read and then you write that in a good note. This will be some effective steps for note taking. The first is highlighting and emphasizing. Highlighting is very important, and also I think it will be quite easy for you to do when you find a course or when you find a book or text. Highlighting keyword or phrases and text will help you first focus your attention on what you are reading and make it easy to see key point when we reading. So you can highlight with any kind of color with your marker. Usually we use a very catchy color to make the highlight. By seeing this catchy color, you will be focused on the color and you will be able to figure on your brain what you have already highlighted there. And by highlighting, you will think more carefully about the key concept and ideas and in the text, the bits that are worth for highlighting. So not every word in one sentence will be highlighted. You have to choose which one will be the most important thing that you need to have the highlight. Okay, and then by highlighting, you will see also immediately whether you have already read pages or section of the text. When you are going to reread or rethink again, or you are going to recall back your information about the text, and then you would like to find a very important information there, you just see from the highlight that you have already drawn. When you come across words or phrases that you're not familiar with, it may be useful to add them to a personal glossary of terms. So if you find difficult word, a very high vocabulary, or a new Latin's name or a new vocabulary, it will be very useful for you to make glossary on a separate sheet of notes. So you just write the difficult or new or unfamiliar word in that glossary part, so you can easily revert and update it as necessary as you can. And write description of the term in your own words for further encouraging learning. So you have to try to find a definition of the unfamiliar or unusual or maybe the new word for you that will be fit to your understanding. So it will be very helpful for you to encourage your learning. And the second step is making written notes. There are two main elements that you need to include in your notes. The first, the content of your reading. The content of your reading means usually a brief summaries. Remember, it is a summary, not a conclusion. Okay, so you have to write a summary or paraphrase with a few well-chosen quotes, usually with page numbers and etc. And you can also give your reaction to the content, which may include an emotional reaction and question that you feel it raises. So when making a note, you have to see whether you will have question from the text that you have read. What question that have come to your mind when you read a sentence of the text. You can have the reaction there. And then your notes may also take various form and style. For example, you will have a linear style. The linear style, or moving from one section to the next page in a logical way, it is a very simple one. So you use heading and subheading when you write the notes. So you only write from one section to the next in a logical way. The other is diagrammatic. Diagrammatic style will use boxes and also flowchart to help you to move around the page. Okay, these boxes will also help your minds to locate about the idea that you're going to talk or you're going to figure out or you're going to remember. Okay, the last style is the pattern style. In pattern style, we will have such a kind like mind mapping that maybe some of you have already tried in senior school, will allow a large amount of information to be included in single page. So this is, I think, the best pattern or the best style that we developed so far in reading to make all information or most information that we read to be included in one page. But rely on you to remember the underlying information. By having a mind maps, you will also locate your brain with the information that you have already written in your mind map diagram. By having or adding color, it will also more helpful. So instead having the location on your mind, it will also draw attention to your mind of what important of the text. The third tip is reviewing and revising your notes. It is very helpful to review your notes a few days after completing them. In particular, you may want to use heading or different sheet to separate different themes. Use bright color. You'd like to add some highlight or some color of your note or you're going to use different colors for the particular theme or issue. Okay, or maybe you will change your opinions about a text on the reaction, or you have another information, or you have another understanding of the text that you just get the understanding after you have already finished making the notes. Okay, and then the fourth tip is organizing your notes. It will depend on whether they are physical, written, or paper, or digital paper, store on the computer, or combination of the two. Now we count on much on mobile phone, so you can have a digital paper or written paper there. It will help you to make it easier for you to bring everywhere. It is therefore important to ensure that your notes are well organized, because it will also have to be able to easily be seen, and you can find what you want when you need it there. The outline method will be, this is what we call by the linear style that we have already discussed. So you just write the main topic here, and then after that followed by the subtopic, and you will have another thought or supporting fact from your summary. Remember, this is summary or paraphrasing. So you just have to write the meaning on your own way or your own language about the text or the important point of the text. The next, you can have also a note-taking method of Cornell. In Cornell note-taking method, you will write the title here, including the date here, and then you can have the keyword here. You can underline or even highlight the keyword. And then after the keyword, there will be two columns, and then the next column is the main notes. So this is also the summary or the paraphrasing of the text. Okay. Ideally, you will use abbreviation to make it easier for you to understand the word, but only the most accepted abbreviation. Even sometimes we forgot the abbreviation of the word that we have already made. Okay, and after that, after keyword, you can also write question here. This is about the reaction of what you have already read. It could be question, actually, and it could be also opinion. Okay. And then the next, we call this boxing note taking. In boxing note taking, you just make the idea into the box. For example, if one lecture describe or one book describe about some subtopic, so you will have the subtopic on the box here. If they have 5 subtopics, so you will have 5 boxes here. And every box will contain the information of each chapter or each paragraph. The next method is by we call charting method. So you make a table here, and then you write the description, and then how to use the pro and the cons, and you can also add another thing actually here. For example, not only description and when to use. For example, this is description and this is the date, and then this is the formulation. Could be like that. But as long as it is in the form of table, it will be also easier for you to have a good understanding of what you read. Okay. The next that I call the mind mapping or brain, what is that? Brain web diagram, mind mapping or brain web diagram. So here you center on the title here with the biggest part, and then after that you will have another subtopic here, or the idea of each topic. So animals here, but reptiles, and then birds, fish, mammals, and also amphibians. And then after topics here, you'll have the description of each topic here. You can add here color and then different line color, and also you can add a diagram or picture that will make it easier for you to remember the thing. Okay, that's all about the note taking in reading. And now we move into summarizing in reading. As I said before, summarizing is not making a conclusion. Summarizing is you have to write or you have to summary what you have read or what you have listened in your own definition or in your own way. So will be based on your understanding. When you summarize something, it should be based on your understanding of the text or of the video or of the listening that you have already had. Summarizing reading is not review and also not the conclusion. It will help solidify what you have already learned. And it will help also quickly review ideas in the futures. And the last, it will help others by having reading your summary. So you will be able to help others to understand knowledge or understand everything that you have already got the understanding by reading your note, actually in the term of summary here. This is the step of writing summary. The first step, you have to decide who is it for, who it is for. Is it only for you, or you'd like to make it bigger so you can have other reader to understand what you read? Now will be step one. In step two, you have to start reading with a teacher mindset. With a teacher mindset mean you have to be able to deliver, to explain what you have already read. This is what we call by teacher mindset. By being a student, you only listening and try to understand for yourself. But by having yourself or position yourself as a teacher, you have to be able to explain everything by your own way. Okay, and step three, this is highlight and take notes. As we have already learned about the reading, you have to make the highlight and take the notes. And then after that, write mini summaries for each chapter. So you can also have a mini summaries for each paragraph actually. But if you draw conclusion and then you draw the summary for each chapter, it will be also easier for you. Okay, and then step 5, you have to organize your mini summaries by having the mind diagram, okay, or you would like to draw catchy thing or interesting on your summary. And then step 6, condense main point to a bullet list. So you can make a list with a bullet marker of a main point that you have already write on your summary. Okay, and then you can also use bullet lists to write your final summary. You can also use bullet summary to make the whole summary of chapter summary. For example, you have a summary for chapter 1 up to 6, and then you will have a final summary of the whole chapter by bullet list. Okay, so this is chapter summary template. You can use, for example, chapter number, and then the title, and then this is what will be the big ideas. Okay, so here you will start to make your summary. You will start to write summarizing here. And then after that, arguments, supporting, big ideas, you can have here also. You can have your reaction or argument of your ideas. You can also have interesting fact, statistic, or analogies of the ideas that you have already made the summary here. Okay, and here will be resonating quotes. It will help you to remember what is your reaction on the chapter. And then this is action steps after you make or read the summary or read the chapter. And then maybe you have another thoughts that you'd like to share here. Maybe you have idea or opinion about the chapter of the book that you have read, or maybe you have another information that they didn't provide you in the text and you already have that. Okay, so this is the end of reading skill 2. Hopefully after this you will be able to make a note and also make a summary of the reading that you have already done. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.